Hello everybody, welcome to Nature Calls. Anthony here, and in this video I'm going to be giving you my 6-month review of my Model Y. I'm going to go over any issues that I've had with it that had to get fixed at Tesla. I'm going to go over just my experience with the overall driving and performance. We did get full self-driving with this vehicle, and I actually took it on some pretty long road trips, one all the way out to Ohio from New Jersey, and another one from New Jersey to Virginia. So I'll give you my feedback on those as well, and how the vehicle kind of handled with that, and any other kind of little things that I've learned along the way over these 6 months and 15,000 miles. Alright, so let's start off with some things that had to get fixed on the car. And maybe me holding a piece of paper here isn't such a great sign, but we're going to go through with it anyway. These issues are not necessarily in order, but I kind of broke them down into the extent that they needed to be fixed. May that be something easy as mobile service coming out and fixing it at my house here, or us driving all the way to a service center to get the problem fixed. So let's start off with the easy ones, the easy fixes. Mobile service came out and replaced the interior trim. So in the back of the vehicle here, there's trim that's just under the back seats. It looks like from the factory somebody must have stepped on it, or it didn't get installed properly, and there was a gap, a big enough gap that a small child could have gotten their legs stuck in it, or like a hand size of a grown adult. You could stick your hand into there. Not the most attractive thing, and definitely something that needed to get fixed. We didn't notice it on the very first day we picked up the vehicle, but we noticed it within the week of being with the vehicle and just figuring out how everything worked and whatnot. We noticed that was an issue. Mobile service came out and fixed it without a problem, which was very good. Now, another issue that mobile service came out to fix is the gaskets around the door. So when you open up your doors, around the door there is a gasket, and several of the doors, 2 or 3 of them, actually had the gasket slipping, and it was causing a lot of wind noise and stuff like that, and the door wasn't closing properly. So mobile service again came out and fixed half that problem, because there was so much demand, it sounds like, at least from our understanding, for gaskets, that we ended up having to get the rest of them replaced when we brought our vehicle in for service. I believe it was for just a regular tire rotation, because we hit the first 7,000 miles. But while mobile service was there replacing half of our gaskets, we realized that this door here, the driver's side door, was doing some weird things. You would go and open it up, and it would feel like the door would drop a little bit. And when you closed it, it looked like it kind of like repositioned itself back up. Well, it turns out that the main screws that hold on the door were actually loose, and the mobile service technician then proceeded to torque them, tighten them back to specifications, because somebody must have missed doing their job correctly. Either Fred the robot or an actual person, probably a robot. But another very interesting issue that was kind of a surprise. Continuing on, after the door gaskets were replaced, somewhere in there we had a left door pillar camera issue. So it would be this camera, and it had an issue seeing out. There's an issue with it. They don't obviously tell you exactly what the issue was, but it was replaced without a problem. That did require the car going to the service center to get that door pillar camera replaced. And with that, we start entering into our service center things. The only other main one actually is the replacement of the HVAC sensor for heat. So we were one of those people that actually had a faulty sensor with the new Octovalve heat pump, which works fantastic when it works. Now it's been fixed for several months, and it's been great. But when that sensor broke, the car had to be brought in, and they spent a good 2 or 3 days disassembling like the whole front end of the car because it's very hard to reach that sensor. They did give us a loaner, which was fantastic, but it was kind of a pain because, we're driving down the road and suddenly the heat kicks off. And it's, 20 degrees outside and now your heat doesn't work. Pretty inconvenient, but it did get fixed. It did take some time though. This car has received 2 tire rotations so far. Both of them have been at the service center due to them coinciding with other repairs like the HVAC sensor and the left door pillar camera and the rest of the trim that wasn't fixed at home here by the mobile service. A lot of things to get fixed in 6 months. But that is also what you get for buying a brand new vehicle, and we kind of expected that. They made the Model Y, but they had yet to make a crossover SUV, and it had new things in it like the heat pump, which was not on other Tesla vehicles in the past. We also were in a very odd situation because everything that was going on with the pandemic, that was shutting everything down over in Fremont, and that was the same time this car was supposed to be rolling off the line. So then we got delayed, we got reassigned VINs, or I guess we never officially got a VIN, but we got official notification that our vehicle was being produced and we get a VIN shortly, and then it was scratch that, wait another 2 months for things to open up again. And then we got it, so we technically got the car in, I guess, July? Give or take. So yes, when this video comes out, it has been over 6 months. But you get the point. There was a lot going on. This is a new vehicle. And, I don't know, you take that however you want to take it. Again, it's my car, so it's not like you're paying the bill for it. But I do want to let you know the circumstances and all the things that that needed to get fixed. Now, you're probably thinking, "Wow, Anthony, that's a lot of problems for a Tesla. Why would you pay so much money for something that has so many problems?" And you're right to a degree that it was a lot of problems, but I have not had a lot of problems since. Knock on Teslas. Since they fixed the HVAC sensor, everything's been great. It was great for both road trips to both Ohio and to Virginia. The Ohio one was like our first trip, which was kind of crazy because we had to stop and charge a couple times. We learned about superchargers and stuff because we never experienced it. We never supercharged before the trip. Probably not the smartest idea, but we got through it. It was exciting. The car did fantastic. It holds plenty of stuff too. The Virginia trip was even easier. I think we supercharged once, just to make sure that we had plenty because we wanted to get there and then, run some errands and then just go to sleep. And obviously the hotel or Airbnb or whatever that we were staying at didn't have charging. So that was just like a strategic charge. But I don't know, other than that, the vehicle's been fantastic. Yeah, it had those problems that needed to get fixed, but it drives amazing. It's super comfortable to sit in. I love all the technology behind it. When you're on the highway, it is 100% like awesome. Not only is it nice and quick to get around people that can't drive, but you can have the car drive yourself if you have the full self-driving. And it's basically like getting chauffeured around. Yeah, you have to babysit it, but it's not that hard. It makes, a 9-hour road trip from New Jersey to Ohio feel like a 4-hour road trip. So much better than any other car I've driven, and I've rented a ton of cars. I have probably driven a good 60 plus cars already in my life. Yes, all of them being gas. This is obviously the first electric, but still, all of them better, from fully loaded like Malibus, Impalas to very cheap econo cars and kind of everything in between. And this does a really, really nice job. Other than that, just driving around town here and stuff. Car's been great. It's nice and easy to charge at home. Again, we do have a 220 in the garage, and since we have the Tesla solar roof in front of me here, we're essentially charging it for free. Especially now that it's April, we're actually like 500% over on our energy demands. Like, we're making 500% more from the solar roof than we actually consume, which is nice because it makes driving your car, well, basically free. Other than that, though, it's still cheaper than gasoline. I would say it's a quarter of the cost. Let's see. I really like the XPEL wrap that we got on the front end of the vehicle. These Teslas, just in general, okay, we have the 3 and the Y, but they definitely seem to be like bug magnets. You get a ton of bugs. You might even be able to see them. You get a ton of bugs on the front here, and some streaks of what's left of the bugs on the hood. If you get your car XPEL wrapped, you know, those protective film wraps, it comes off a lot easier, it cleans up a lot easier. Other than that, we did Plasti Dip just the silver part on the rim, because I honestly think the silver looks kind of lame. Just my take, but definitely looks better in the Plasti Dip black, and it actually matches the plastic right there in the wheel wells. So that worked out pretty good. In terms of storage, I have no issues with storing things in this car. Between the frunk and the trunk, you got storage for days. The frunk is actually not as useful as I expected, because there's not too many, like, there's things to put in it, obviously, but I feel like it's for more like long-term storage, because the trunk's just bigger and I can just do so much more with it, especially that secret compartment in the bottom of the trunk where you can put in more items. It's covered up. It's, I guess, basically where you would put a spare tire if there was one. Alright, so there you have it. That is my 6-month review of my Tesla Model Y. Overall, a fantastic vehicle. Yes, it did have problems, I'll admit that, but Tesla fixed them without an issue. And again, I think this car is like in the 14,000s or something for VINs. So, yeah, they had to sort some things out, and it didn't help that their plant kept getting shut down and everything else that was going on. So with that, I would definitely recommend this car, especially if you want the higher ride height, more ground clearance, and, you know, well, yeah, I guess you could fit basically the same amount of people, unless you get the extra seats. I do not have the extra seats. So this is a great vehicle, you know, for that. Of course, you want something that rides lower, gets a little bit more range, and doesn't give you 3 extra seats as an option, then I would still go with the Model 3. I'll be doing a review on my Model 3 when it hits 6 months, and I'll do another review on this car when it hits 1 year, just to give you an idea if my opinions on it have changed. I still think it's a great value, and it was totally worth the purchase. I'm still saving on, well, insurance is still unbelievably cheap, which I didn't really touch on. It only went up by like $10. It's pretty wild. I'm saving so much on fuel costs. Even if I had to pay somebody to charge it at like a supercharger, it's still cheaper than gas, which, you know, the gas prices seem to be creeping up slow and steady. Amazing views out of all the windows and the all-glass roof. It drives itself if you get the full self-driving package, which I think is worth it, and we'll see if it's worth even more down the road as that gets developed. And I don't know, it just looks good. I enjoy it. Thank you so much for watching. Please like and subscribe, and as always, have an excellent day.